Today on Lazer Update, we review how our very own BMC department is preparing potential incoming students.
Then we meet Roger Mirabito, a staple of the OCC community and what he does to keep us all up to date. All that and more in the next 20 minutes.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lazer Update. I'm Will DiAgostino.
And I'm Yufi Legitimus. It's April 12th, and here's what's happening today on Onondaga Hill.
Planned Parenthood will be visiting today from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. in Mawini Hall. If you miss them, they'll be there same time and same place next week.
Syracuse Community Connections has a table space set up to talk about sexual health. Visit them in the Gordon Student Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
This show would not exist without the BMC department. In order to get potential new students interested in this program, OCC hosts an event where newcomers can see what it's like to actually work in the news show, just like Lazer Update. Dante Casella tells us more.
Students from East Syracuse Manoa High School and Fayetteville Manlius High School came to the main campus at Onondaga Community College to learn what it was like to be a student in the Broadcasting Media Communications Department.
What Media Day is just an event for high school students in the area that are looking at OCC or maybe interested in OCC, an opportunity for them to come up here and see our facilities and colleges in the area. I hear a lot of the news channels always brag about our facilities and how nice they are, and I think it's great for students in the area who want to possibly study here at OCC or maybe in that field.
Students had the opportunity to touch the equipment and learn hands-on what it's like to be in TV classes.
You know, a lot of students want to have hands-on stuff, and a lot of people don't know what they want to do, and sometimes they're trying to figure out, do I want to be general studies? What do I want to study? And when they see the facilities, and it might trigger something, hey, this is something I could do, and it may bring up some interest for them.
This day was meant to show students what it was like to experience the Broadcasting Media Communications Department.
The BMC program has just received brand new recording equipment, so these incoming students will be coming in at the best possible time for their education.
College can be a stressful time, so it's important to take time to relax. Something all students can agree on is that nothing beats unwinding with a good movie. Kyle Goff asks students around campus what their favorite movie is.
As the Oscars are coming up, students are ready to talk about what their top movie picks of all time are.
My first one is Encanto because it is a gorgeous film with a lot of good backstory. My second is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The first, not the second, because the first is superior. And my third would probably be The Lorax because we gotta save the trees.
My favorite movie would be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because it has no bad songs on its soundtrack and it pretty much revolutionized like a certain style of animation. My second favorite movie was this old movie called Undercover Brother, and then my all-time third favorite would be A Silent Voice.
Bohemian Rhapsody because it's a really good soundtrack and it's about Freddie Mercury. Forrest Gump because it's a really good storyline, and Hereditary because it's filmed really well and I love scary movies.
There you have it. Students at OCC gave you their top movie picks to prepare for the Oscars. This is posted to campus. For Lazer Update, I'm Kyle Goff.
Everyone has different tastes, and that's something we are sure seeing here. Stick around to the end of the show for our Got Issues segment, where we'll go more in depth into what students currently think of the movie industry. Long viewers of Lazer Update may remember past stories where we've talked about Supermix, OCC's radio station run by students.
However, what you might not know is that those students aren't OCC's only radio stars. Allie Elkins tells us more.
All right, little Jay-Z to kick off your morning.
Some people say that if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. If that's true, then Jim Lurch hasn't worked for a very long time. For 20 years, Lurch has been on the air, hosting the Man-Child Show, and he's loved every minute of it.
What's not to love about working in sports radio? I get to come into the studio every day and talk sports, give opinions about sports, dissect sports issues. A normal day in the studio basically is arrive about 45 minutes to a half hour before the show starts. I meet with my crew, my partner Paul Esden, whose nickname is Boy Green. A lot of times we have a couple of interns that work with us that kind of help us produce the show. I never imagined doing sports talk radio. But now that I do it every day, what I love about it is it's just a great conversation. It's, a couple of people talking about your favorite sports teams, just having fun talking sports. So for me, really, being a college professor and teaching at a place like OCC is really all about helping people. My sportscasting class at OCC is actually the first semester that I'm teaching it. It's a course I'm incredibly excited about. I get to mold these young students and watch them put projects together. And I think the big thing for me is I try and bring my real world experience where I work professionally and bring it to the classroom and give my students the opportunity to do real world projects, to do things that we actually do in the business and feel like they can actually accomplish it even in the classroom.
Jim Lurch, through his own experience, hopes to share his knowledge with students and give them the tools they need to build their own dream career.
You can tune in to Jim's show for all the sports talk you can need on the Score 1260 on weekdays from 10 a.m. to noon.
Speaking of sports, before we go to break, we'll take a look at the most recent update from our Lazer sports team. Check it out.
The Lazers baseball team faced 2 losses against the Finger Lakes Community College in a doubleheader with a score of 8-3 in the first game and a loss of 6-1 in the second game.
In other sports news, wish our track and field team good luck this upcoming Saturday as they face off against SUNY Cortland at our very own SRC Arena.
Located in Farrant Hall in the lower section is the Ann Felton Art Gallery, hosting artwork from local and national artists. Within this small selection, the current art style in the gallery is described as lines and lineage. Go down there and take a look for yourself on OCC campus.
What is my OCC story? My OCC story is finding what I love to do.
My OCC story is having the tools and resources needed to help fuel my passions.
My OCC story is a second chance to education.
What will your OCC story be?
Come see the Red Hot Chili Peppers this Friday at the JMA Wireless Dome. Don't wait, tickets are selling fast.
Welcome back to Lazer Update. I'm Will D'Agostino.
And I'm Yuffie Legitimus. So far, we've taken a look at department events, the interests of students, and the careers of teachers. One of the daily features of Lazer Update is a segment called Did You Know?, where we explore all that OCC has to offer. You may already be aware of the campus-wide event, Unity Day, but did you know everything else this event has to offer?
As part of the festivities during OCC's Unity Day, free food was served from all over the world. In Mooney Hall, students were served American soul food like chicken tenders, cornbread, and mac and cheese. In the Ferrante Lounge, there was Greek food, chicken and lamb over rice, pita chips, and falafel, all served fresh. And in the Gordon Student Center, Asian food like chicken and veggies served in a sweet sauce. Each food station also had various refreshments to choose from, like fruit punch and citrus water. If you'd like to try all these foods and more, Unity Day happens once every semester, so be sure to catch it to check out the spreads.
Unity Day has more to offer than just food, such as art contests or open mic events. Be sure to check it out next semester if you missed it this time.
If you're at all familiar with the OCC website, then you've heard of Roger Marabito. He posts almost daily news stories on the OCC website, such as Student Spotlight, a segment that features different OCC students. But despite all he's done, you may not know much about him. Claire Akers shines a spotlight on the man who's done so much for OCC.
After spending over 30 years in the spotlight of the broadcasting industry, Roger Marabito decided to move his work behind the scenes as Executive Director of Communications for OCC.
I have always viewed my job as telling the story of the college. I'm very into messaging and simplifying messaging so that it's clear and easy to understand.
Marabito has a unique way of doing just that.
When you enter campus, there's the electronic message boards. So the signs you see on there, I make those right from my computer. And there's a challenge to making those signs in terms of making your messages simple enough that somebody, stopped at a traffic light looking at it can sort of take in and retain the message in the brief time they have to look at it. I've felt so lucky to be here, and I love this place. I love talking to students like yourself and learning your story, and it's just I got the best job in the world. It's great.
With Maribito's help, the accomplishments of OCC and the students will never be untold. For Lazer Update, I'm Claire Akers.
To keep up to date with Rogers newsletters, visit sunyocc.edu/news.
We talked earlier in our show about what students do for fun and relaxation, but what does OCC itself do to make things easier on students? Eliza McMahon tells us about one event.
With midterms and project due dates coming up, the week before spring break can be a stressful time. Snacks for Students, one of many events organized by the OCC Foundation, hopes to make things easier by giving students a little treat.
So this is our third year doing Snacks for Students. It's a fundraiser that is run by the OCC Foundation.
The event is funded by a monetary donation from teachers, while the foundation receives a donation of food from Wegmans. Together, this fundraiser strives to give something no student can resist: free snacks.
Being here on campus, living in the res halls, and doing student government here, it keeps me on my toes. Knowing that there is something like this that is helping give other students food to keep them going, I think it's a great idea, and I wish I saw it more.
This year, Snacks for Students also includes an optional survey with the potential to win some great prizes.
The student provides their contact information to the OCC Foundation, and in turn they become eligible for either a Barnes & Noble gift card or a gift card at American Food and Vending. So it's a great way for the student to earn some, an extra surprise, if you will, by participating in it.
This is the third year in a row that Snacks for Students has run, and with the crowds it draws, we're sure to see it next spring as well.
There's always a lot of events that week before spring break. Other notable activities that popped up were a station where you could build your own Zen garden.
We'll be right back with you right after one more break, but first, a little more about the OCC Foundation. In addition to organizing fun events, the OCC Foundation also provides scholarships, assists low-income students, and much more. Visit their page to find out more, as well as how you can help, donate, and make a difference.
At the Learning Center. If you're struggling with your academics or hungry for some extra learning, the Learning Center is here for you. Book your appointment with ease by stopping by or booking online. We provide different cuisines that fit your learning curve, like English learning, mathematics, and science. We move on to our main course like biology and physics with our state-of-the-art science room with actual models for hands-on learning. We provide after-hour sessions to suit your needs ranging from 7 p.m. to midnight, Sunday through Thursday. Visit us in room G202 in the Gordon Hall for free now.
The OCC Bookstore is your one-stop shop for all things academics. Stock up on all you need for class, such as binders, notebooks, calculators, and even computers. For those chefs and artists out there, we've got you covered too. And don't forget about our Box of Books program. All your textbooks and course materials at a great low price. So stop by the bookstore inside the Whitney Atrium and be prepared for your next class.
In a performance you'll need to see to believe, check out Nicolas Cage as Dracula in Renfield, the horror comedy coming to theaters April 14th. Welcome back. This is Lazer Update with Yuffie Legitimus
and Will DiAgostino. Speaking of movies, for our next segment, we'll be discussing the future of movie theaters. Here's Eliza McMahon with Got Issues.
Thanks, Will. Hello, everyone. I'm Eliza McMahon, and today on Got Issues, we are discussing movie theaters. Are they still relevant? Over the past decade, as streaming services become more readily available, movie lovers have started to favor the convenience of watching at home rather than going to the movie theater. With the COVID-19 lockdown seeing box office sales drop by almost $10 billion, you have to ask, are movie theaters becoming obsolete? Joining me today are Anaya Gamble and Yuffie Legitimus to talk about the state of cinema today. Thank you for joining me. So Anaya, we're going to start off with you with a pretty easy one. I just want you to tell me about the last time you went to the movies.
The last time I went to the movie theater was December of 2021, and I saw Spider-Man No Way Home. But since then, I've just been using streaming services.
Yeah, no, that's about what I've been doing. It's been a hot second since I've been to a theater. So, Yuffie, over to you. Some companies, especially Disney, have started releasing movies directly to streaming services, for example, over to Disney+. And I just want to ask you, which streaming services do you usually use, and would you consider those to be your replacement for going to the theater?
The streaming services I usually use is Disney Plus for those Disney movies, and then Netflix for everything else. And I think that all those streaming services, as cheap and convenient they are compared to a movie theater, they do not offer the same experience as being at the theaters.
Yeah, no, gotta agree. I'm an HBO girl, but it's not the same. So, Anaya, back over to you. So just based on this whole conversation we've been having, I want to ask you, how do you feel about the possible decline of movie theaters?
I feel bad for these companies who own these theaters because streaming services are so popular now since the pandemic. I guess people are finding them more convenient. But just the lost revenue, I can see that could really hurt your business. And also, movie theaters are so nostalgic. So just seeing that people aren't using them anymore is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, no, takes me right back to my childhood. So, Yuffie, over to you. Do you think that theaters still have something unique to offer?
Yes, and what they have to offer is being at the theaters, because when you come into the theater, you come you get your ticket, you get your food, you come into the actual theater itself, and it's like a big dark room. It's the crisp cold air, and you get to your seat, and there's 20 people behind you watching the same movie as you, and there's if you're watching a horror movie like The Grudge or something, you'll hear someone in the corner of the room scream at the top of their lungs because they got jump scared. But because that's different than being on the couch and you're with your blanket and you're just watching Netflix.
Yeah, no, there's nothing else like it. When we come back, our discussion continues right here on Got Issues.
Why did I choose OCC? I chose OCC for the hands-on learning.
I chose OCC for a few different reasons. It was really convenient to be a commuter student here. I also specifically chose the Broadcast Media Communications program.
A lot of people ask, why did you go to OCC? I said, because it's got great staff. That's why I love working at OCC.
And welcome back. Lazer here again. I'm with Anaya and Yuffie, and we've been talking all about movie theaters. Let's continue. So, Anaya, another question over to you. This is just a basic fact of the business, but theaters are more likely to show content that they know will make money, which usually means Disney, which with theaters usually means they're going to be showing a lot of Marvel movies. And you said your most recent time at a theater, you saw a Spider-Man movie, but I gotta ask, are you getting sick of all the Marvel movies yet?
I actually am getting kind of sick of them because they have been released back to back to back. And I feel like that kind of takes away from the experience of watching a Marvel movie if so much content is being pushed on you at once and you don't have the time to catch up and watch all of it.
Yeah, no, after a certain amount of time, you can't catch up on all of it. So, Yuffie, over to you. Some theaters have decided to specialize in order to get people back into their movie theaters by making it more of an experience, such as including dinner along with the movie, which any sort of experience like that is going to up the price of the tickets. So I want to ask you, how much are you willing to pay to go to a movie theater?
To be perfectly honest, if I want to go to the movie theater, I'm just there to watch a movie. I don't want to come eat dinner or do whatever else. I'm just here to watch a movie, So if I want to name a price on how much I want to pay to go to a movie theater, maybe $10 or $15 is for the experience.
Fair enough. I think that's a good one. And Anaya, a similar question over to you. What do you want to get out of going to the movie theater?
Just being able to experience a movie with my friends and family, loud speakers, without it just being on my television screen at home, like Yuffie said, under a blanket, because I feel like there's really no fun in that, where you can go out and come out of the movie theater talking to your friends about your favorite part of the movie.
And Yuffie, one quick question over to you to end things on a good note. What is your favorite movie theater experience?
My favorite movie theater experience was when Avengers Endgame came out. This was the premiere, maybe a couple days afterwards. The entire theater was packed and it was noisy and everyone was having a good time. During the final battle, that entire series, everyone was on the edge of your seat. They were hyped. You could feel the energy in the room as they watched Thanos going up against, literally everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, nothing else like it. Well, I gotta say, whatever the future of movie theaters may be, it's definitely been a wild ride. I'd like to thank my guests, Anaya Gamble and Yuffie Legitimus, and I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'm Lazer McMahon, and that's Got Issues.
Thanks for having me on the show, Eliza. Well, that's all we have time for today. We went all over campus today with a look into the interesting lives of the faculty.
And just some of the events on campus that make OCC unique. Be sure to like us on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Onondaga Campus Connection. Episodes are uploaded Monday through Thursday before 5 p.m. I'm Will DiAgostino.
And I'm Yuffie Legitimus. Thanks for watching.